Well, when you were going to your coworkers and talking to them about the book, how receptive were they to go back and unearth some of their memories and some of the secrets that you all had been through together?
That was probably the most surprising thing for me was how open people were. And that's
Mhm.
probably like a stock answer, like, of course. But I actually think in terms of that, also, we're kind of in the sweet spot, right? Like it had been 7 or 8 years. So, one, it was great for so many, particularly writers or executives or crew people that I hadn't seen in years. So there was that. There was us just kind of getting the band back together and talking, which was really fun. But I think also whether it was articulated by everybody or not, everybody sort of has that same question. Like it's now brought up so often in our lives, and so for us to sort of be able to go back with enough time and space between shooting the show and now that I think people really wanted to. I mean, I tell this story. I don't know if he would get mad at me or not, but I talked to Steve Carell for 3.5 hours. We talked. Um, he was in the middle of shooting Space Force. Like he did not have the time for us to have that conversation. But we did, and we finished and said goodbye. And I said, "Oh, I'll walk you to your car." And we walked down, went down an elevator, went out to his car, and we were just chatting. And then we stood by his car and talked for another 30 minutes. And I was like, wait, we don't have the mics down here. What do we do? Why did we stop upstairs? But no, I think there's just a genuine um, curiosity and also just feeling how special it is that it has had, not just survived, but is thriving so many years later. And I think for all of us, it's particularly gratifying because look, let's be honest. We all have worked or work on things now that we do for a variety of reasons that are not necessarily the quality of the project, right? And that was the thing from the very beginning. Everybody bought in to The
Mhm.
Office. Everybody who was working on it believed in the show, one, and two, uh, worked extra hard, like, didn't complain. There wasn't egos. Like, I don't even know how to explain it, but it was just about trying to deliver. And when there were fights, which there were, it was always about what is the right answer here? Like, what is the best, not right, because that doesn't apply in art, but what is the best way to shoot this scene? What is the best thing for this relationship? And I joked with Jenna Fisher and John Krasinski a lot. Like, nothing would halt a production day like a big Jim and Pam scene. And there were typically one a week, right? And it would be, it's times just hours. Like what, because their story played out in the margins, in the background, often with a glance or a graze of hand on hand, like what is too big? What is too much? How should this be played out? And so it wasn't easy always.
Mhm.
And, I, for one, was like, is there any way that I can go home before the scene starts? Because I know we're going to be here for 17 hours if I don't. Um, so it wasn't that there weren't discussions or fights, but it was always in what is the best way that this scene could be shot. And that was universal across the board. And I mean crew, writers, directors who came in, actors, everybody was just trying to make the best show. So the fact that it's successful has found this new life and resurgence. I think everybody's just genuinely excited about that.